Welcome, and thank you for joining the Goulden and McCarthy 401k enrollment presentation. My name is Loretta Besson, and I am a retirement plan specialist here on the corporate team at Goulden and McCarthy. To kick off this conversation, we want participants to take a moment to think about how they are doing toward achieving their overall financial goals and if they feel they are on track based on their needs. All too often we hear, "I'm doing okay." Well, okay isn't good enough. We want to ensure participants feel confident in their plan and have a clear direction with respect to meeting their retirement needs and overall financial goals. We strive to design a great program for participants, which will ultimately give them the tools and resources to be successful. Our role at Goulden and McCarthy focuses on providing trustee support and advice, administrative support, and help, and most importantly, employee education. Our goal and mission at Goulden and McCarthy is to help you retire with dignity. We want employees to be in a position to retire comfortably and to be prepared to face the expense of any uncertainty that comes with no longer earning a paycheck. Knowing that we can help people comfortably retire without extensive concerns makes us realize the significant positive impact we can have on individuals' lives. Our agenda today will cover the following: a general overview of the 401k plan and highlights, and the questions we are often asked. How much should I save? How do I invest? And what resources are available to me? As a general overview, a 401k plan is a voluntary employer-sponsored retirement savings plan that provides a combination of benefits. The 401k plan allows you to determine how much you contribute from your salary. The plan gives you the flexibility to save a portion of your salary up to the IRS limit, which is indexed based on the cost of living adjustments. The limit for the 2019 plan year is $19,000 plus an additional $6,000 if you are age 50 or over. Your plan may allow for both pre-tax and Roth contributions. Your plan may offer a loan provision allowing you to borrow 50% of your vested account balance. You pay yourself back through payroll deduction and the interest goes back into your account. Incoming rollovers from qualified plans are allowed. If you have a previous employer-sponsored retirement plan, you have the ability to roll those dollars into your current employer-sponsored plan, which allows you to consolidate your assets and manage everything under one umbrella. You have access to your funds for a distribution upon retirement, permanent disability if you suffer a financial hardship, upon termination of employment, upon reaching age 59 and a half, and upon death. We should all be clear that you need to save for retirement. This slide illustrates where today's retirees receive their retirement income. Retirement income can come from a variety of sources. As you can see, even though everyone has different visions of what they want to do in retirement, we all draw on similar sources for replacement income. As a retiree, you will potentially have retirement income from a variety of sources. Periodically, the Employee Benefits Research Institute lists the estimates of the sources of income that retired Americans utilize. This is a recent estimate, and these figures are slowly changing. It is important to know what your sources of income in retirement will be and what they may generate as income to you. Of all these sources, we really only have full control over one during our working years, and that is how much money we set aside into our retirement plan. The savings decisions we make today are very important in helping to determine how much of our retirement income may come from this one source. Focusing on this source of income, let's discuss some income replacement ratios. When we consider our income replacement, we need to ask ourselves, what percentage of my income do I need to replace in order to maintain my desired retirement lifestyle? A financial planner may tell you that you need to have between 70 to 90% of your pre-retirement income replaced during retirement if you want to maintain a similar standard of living. So we need to think about how much of that income we may be able to replace from our retirement plan. And this brings us to our next question. How much do you need to save? One of the questions we are often asked is, how much do I need to save? People are living longer and spending more time in retirement, which means they need to generate more income to support their lifestyle in retirement. And to compound that, their sources of retirement income are diminishing. For instance, fewer workers can count on a pension, and the future of Social Security may seem uncertain. So, more and more, it is up to the individual to save for retirement. As a general rule of thumb, participants should target setting a total savings rate of 10 to 15% of your paycheck toward your retirement savings plan. This savings rate includes both your personal contributions and your employer contributions if they offer an employer match. If you're not ready to commit to that amount just yet, that's okay. Here's a few manageable steps to keep in mind. The most important thing is to get started as soon as possible. So figure out how much you are comfortable with and start as soon as you can. If you work for a company that has an employer match, you should contribute at least up to that amount. Anything less is like leaving free money on the table. And once you set your contribution percentage, make a point of revisiting that percentage regularly and think about increasing it, even if just by a little each year. Doing so can provide potentially big benefits in the future. As discussed, one of the main benefits of the 401k plan is the tax deferral. If you are contributing on a pre-tax basis, the contributions to your savings plan are tax deferred, which lowers your current taxable income. Also, your money grows tax deferred. In other words, you are only taxed on the money once you take it out. What that means is during the time you are saving, you do not have to pay any taxes on the account as long as you keep your money in it. This slide represents a weekly contribution to your 401k and the net effect on your take-home pay. Your provider website will have calculators to help you determine the net impact on your take-home pay based on different savings levels. So how do you reach your goals? While you may not be at a point where you can contribute the maximum annual salary deferral limit, the important thing is to invest what you can afford and start right away. To start, if your plan offers an employer match, you should certainly maximize that contribution. If you're not contributing up to the employer match threshold, it's like leaving free money on the table. So we believe you should contribute at least enough to get your employer's full matching contribution. By increasing your contributions even a little, it can have a big impact later on. As we mentioned, getting started early and taking advantage of having time on your side can have a big impact on your nest egg in the future. In this hypothetical example, we have two investors. Sam started saving at 24 years old, contributing $250 per month. Sally started saving 16 years later at age 40 and doubled her contributions to $500 per month. The bars at the bottom represent the contributions and earnings based on the assumed 6% rate of return. As you can see, the ending balance for Sam is significantly higher due to the years that he began saving earlier and the benefit of the compound growth potential on the earnings. The longer you keep the money in your account, the harder each dollar can work for you. As many retirement savers have discovered, the effects of long-term compounding can be remarkable. We can also look at what the ending balance translates into as a monthly stream of income in retirement, which projects out to age 90. This ties into looking at what we need to replace as a stream of income on a monthly basis. Remember that investing does involve risk, and the value of your investment will fluctuate over time, and you may gain or lose money. Once we decide how much we want and can save, the next question is, how do I invest? We ask participants to think about the following questions. Do you want to make your own investment decisions? Are you comfortable building your own portfolio? And do you have the time to actively manage your investments? Depending on how you answer these questions will determine what type of investor you are. You may be more hands-on or do-it-yourself investor, or you may prefer to have a do-it-for-me approach. Determining your investor style will help you select the right mix of investments. An important part of investing is finding a mix of different investments to help meet your needs and goals. There are two main principles that can help you do this: asset allocation and diversification. Asset allocation means putting your money into a combination of investment types to help manage risk. Typically, this includes stocks, bonds, and short-term investments. Diversification means spreading your money within each of the different investment types. By investing across different companies, industries, countries, and business sizes, you'll have a greater potential for growth because your overall portfolio isn't dependent on any one type of investment. This brings us to the Callan Periodic Table of Investment Returns. The Callan Periodic Table of Investment Returns is a tool used to illustrate the fundamental investing principles. This chart looks back at the 20-year period beginning in 1999 and shows how each asset class performed in any given year, ranking from best at the top to worst at the bottom. Each asset class is given a color and each column represents a calendar year. As we can see, the rankings change every year, thereby demonstrating the key investing principle of diversification. This is a simple visual tool to help set your expectations regarding your investment performance. By the mere definition of diversification, your investment performance will not be as strong as the top performing asset class and will not be as poor as the bottom performing asset class. This chart will help to gain a better understanding of the investment market as a whole and to help maintain realistic expectations about investment performance. An investor with a diversified portfolio of cash, fixed income, U.S. and foreign stock would have performed relatively better than simply holding one asset type. And this we can see by the black box, which represents the diversified portfolio. We've mentioned the importance of including a mix of stocks, bonds, and long-term investments in your portfolio. Here's an example of why that's important. If you invested $10,000 in each type of investment, stock, bonds, and short-term investments 30 years ago, here's how they would have performed. As you can see, stocks have provided the highest opportunity for growth over time, but they also come with more risk and greater fluctuations in value. By creating a mix of different investments, you may find that when stocks decrease in value, bonds and short-term investments may help provide protection on the downside. Over the 30 years of this example, the stock portion of the portfolio experienced the greatest swings in price, but also increased in value at a much higher rate than bonds and short-term investments. Both bonds and short-term investments experienced more stable prices during this time frame, but they also increased in value at a much smaller rate than stocks. This demonstrates why it's important to stay invested for the long term and to avoid making decisions based on the daily ups and downs of the different markets. Please note, past performance is no guarantee of future results. As we discuss asset allocation and diversification, some investors prefer a simple approach to choosing and managing their investments. This may be suitable to those of us that prefer a do-it-for-me approach. The Target Date series of funds provides simplicity, allowing you to monitor just one fund instead of a portfolio of several funds, provides diversification. Each fund invests in a different proportion of stocks, bonds, and short-term investments across multiple asset classes and investment styles. Ongoing management, having a team of professionals making ongoing decisions and adjustments to each fund's mix of investments, and a lifetime investment strategy. The asset allocation strategy of each target date becomes increasingly conservative as it approaches the target date and beyond, so an investor can stay with the same fund throughout their working career and long into retirement. Target date funds are designed to follow a glide path that guides each fund's transformation from a more aggressive approach to one that's more conservative. It establishes a long-term strategic asset allocation that balances return and risk at each point in the time horizon. Three areas of research: capital market assumptions, investor and participant behavior and demographics, and risk capacity, help determine the glide path. This graphic illustrates a sample target asset allocation among domestic equities, international equities, bonds, and short-term debt, and how these allocations may change over time. With that, we come to what's next. Please remember to make saving a priority. If you are not already enrolled, enroll in your 401k savings plan. Set your savings contribution rate and save to the match if available, or if no match, start where you can and increase to 15% annually over time. Choose your investments and use tools online to help select the investments to reach your goals. Remember, if you have debt, please work hard to pay down high interest credit card debt. And also importantly, remember to create a budget and find ways to save more. You have access to tools on your provider's website, so please remember to use the tools and resources available to you, including retirement income projections, asset allocation tools, savings calculators, and the financial wellness portals. Thank you for joining us today. If you have a specific plan related question, please reach out to Goulden and McCarthy. We are always available and happy to assist you. Thank you.